much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Alright, so today we're talking about the rise, the fall, and the rebirth of Ye, also known as Kanye West. Was that backwards? You know what I was saying. What's good, y'all? We all know a new topic today. Today we talking about Kanye West.
If I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
This might be one of the most misunderstood celebrities in modern day history, because Kanye West didn't just become famous. He became something bigger than a rapper.
How many sides of Kanye?
Bigger than music and bigger than fashion. Bigger than the celebrity itself. Kanye West became a symbol of a genius, ego and pain,
Aspects of his life that people don't know about.
But
controversy, and also faith. And what happens when the whole entire world watches someone lose himself in real time.
That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts.
He was one of the greatest artists alive. But then the next minute, the internet wanted him erased from existence. Brands dropped him. Billion-dollar deals disappeared overnight. The media turned him into public enemy #1.
that was a little delusional.
Where do you think that came from, this sense of...
From my grandfather on my mother's side. If you could hear him talk,
Yeah. He believed in himself.
he believed in himself and he believed in other people around him that believed in him. I feel like everything that anybody ever said in life would be a disadvantage to me, I'm gonna make it my advantage. Like, I'm gonna use everything that everybody says that I can't do, and I'm gonna flip it to the positive. Like, I look at everything as a glass half full and then half empty. Only thing promised is death.
And somehow, after all of that, he still came back. Which honestly makes Kanye West one of the most fascinating human beings the internet has ever seen.
So you have to play the game the way you want to play it. If you have a dream and you're good enough, because sometimes people, it's a difference between a dream and just being delusional. Don't just drop out of school. Like, I was already making money in the music industry. I had a platinum plaque before I dropped out of school.
Right.
And I had a deal on the table with Columbia, with Sony.
Right.
And I flew in and I remember saying, I'm gonna be bigger than Jermaine Dupri. I'm gonna be bigger than Michael Jackson.
People always try to box you in to what they know you best for.
They don't even realize that when they
Because whether you hate him, agree with him, disagree with him, laugh at him, or even feel sorry for him, one thing is undeniable. The world has been emotionally attached to Kanye West for over 20 years.
box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And, you know, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do.
And today we're going to talk about why. Before the $1 million, before the scandals, before the memes, and before all the chaos, Kanye West was just a kid from Chicago trying to prove himself to the world. And the crazy part is, nobody believed in him at first. Especially the rap industry. Because back then, rap looked very different. Everybody was trying to be tough and gangster. At the time, everybody was trying to look dangerous. And sounding hard was becoming a trend. Meanwhile, Kanye walked into a room wearing pink polos and backpacks, talking about feelings and insecurity.
Just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying.
I'm not gonna say it's not a way that I can fail, but hopefully with God's blessings, and I got Chicago on my side, it shouldn't be no way for me to lose, really.
Bro looked like he should have been tutoring algebra after school. The rap industry looked at Kanye like, who invited this dude? But underneath all the confidence, Kanye always had something deeper going on. He desperately wanted validation. And honestly, that becomes one of the biggest themes of his entire life.
Perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything.
Never stop fighting. No matter what anyone says, no matter how they try to compromise you, compromise your vision. If it's in your gut, if it's in your soul, there's no worldly possessions that should come between you and your expression.
People don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way.
Because Kanye didn't just want success. He wanted acceptance. He wanted respect. He wanted the world to understand him. And every time the world rejected him, it broke him a little more. Let's talk about how the College Dropout changed music forever. So when Kanye dropped A College Dropout, the entire culture shifted because Kanye made vulnerability cool.
I'm the #1 rock star on the planet. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. I just told you who I thought I was. A god. My mom saved my life.
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem. I am the #1 most impactful.
Before Kanye, rappers weren't really being vulnerable and talking about their insecurities, or family, anxiety, even self-doubt, and feeling like an outsider. Kanye brought emotion into mainstream rap in a completely different way. And what's crazy is, he almost never got the opportunity. Labels only wanted him producing beats. They didn't believe that he could become a star. Like, for real, imagine hearing Kanye West rap and being like, I don't see it. That's like seeing a UFO in your backyard and thinking, damn, it's probably Amazon Prime. But Kanye had something most people don't have.
Artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now who's gonna be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more?
But you know what, I was thinking about something I was gonna say to you, Kanye, that
Obsession. And obsession is dangerous because being obsessed can either create greatness or destroy somebody completely.
I thought was important. How you were down to earth and everything, but you got a lot of confidence. Come off a little arrogant even though you're humble and everything. But it'd be important to remember that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing.
Or even sometimes both. Now this is where everything changes. Because there's one person you cannot remove from Kanye West's story. His mother. Donda West wasn't just Kanye's mom. She was his emotional foundation. She believed in him before the world did. She protected him emotionally and she understood him. And honestly, I think Kanye West spent the rest of his life trying to fill the emotional hole that was created after she passed away. Because after Donda passed, Kanye changed. You could literally see it happening.
I'm the #1 rock star on the planet. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. I just told you who I thought I was. A god. My mom saved my life.
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
His energy changed. His interviews changed. His emotions became darker, more chaotic, and more emotional. Way more unpredictable.
About anything, but you take that exact straight line and put it 20-story high and you remove the balconies, you're going to be so concerned about the idea of falling that it will make you fall.
And imagine dealing with that level of grief while simultaneously becoming one of the most famous people on the planet.
Yep.
And that's where the superpower is, in removing the fear.
Yes.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves.
That combination alone would destroy most human beings. And fame started to break him. But that's when his fame started to hit another level. And this is when Kanye West stopped becoming a person, and started becoming an internet character.
They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. And I'm Kanye West at age 36.
When I had my accident, I found out at that moment, nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment.
Suddenly, everything he did became global news. Every mistake, every opinion, every rant, every awkward moment. The internet turned Kanye West into content. And honestly, we as a society became addicted to watching celebrities mentally collapse in public. Because think about it, the Taylor Swift moment.
So much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
This moment became one of the biggest memes in internet history. But underneath the meme was still a real human being spiraling emotionally. And the scary part about fame is, when millions of people laugh at you long enough, eventually you stop knowing who you actually are.
A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
You know, if I see something, I see an opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. You know, we're all gonna die one day. So we live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. You know, go for it. You know, those steps have what have allowed, you know, the platforms that allowed me to make it.
Now here's the complicated part about Kanye. Because Kanye is a genius, but a genius mixed with ego can become so dangerous. Kanye wasn't just trying to make music anymore. He wanted to conquer everything. Fashion, sneakers, religion, technology, culture itself. And people laughed at him constantly, especially in fashion. Bro, they treated Kanye like he was an alien trying to sneak into Paris Fashion Week. But eventually, Yeezy became one of the biggest fashion brands in the world.
Everything was fear. Everything was about his girlfriend's pregnant. And, you know, we just got a house. And I don't want to do anything to change this. And this is like one of the most brilliant people on the planet. But
which honestly proves one of Kanye's biggest strengths. People try to doubt him, but then suddenly they can't ignore him anymore.
if you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people that are going to change the world. These people just need to see what it looks like to overcome the smoke screens of public humiliation, of bankruptcy. I was in debt, the fear of loss, I lost my mom, or the fear of death. You're young and we're like children. And there's all these things, these sharp edges, these corners, these anxieties, these fears, these things put in our food, our diet of what we consume right here that turn us.
And then came the Kardashian era. And this is where Kanye stopped being just a rapper. He literally became a global icon. Him and Kim Kardashian basically became modern day royalty. Billion-dollar fame, dominating the fashion industry, and headlines every single day. But honestly, I think this level of fame isolated Kanye even more. Because the more famous he became, the less normal his life became. Imagine not being able to trust people. Imagine if you couldn't realize. Imagine not knowing if somebody likes you or your money, or your fame or your influence, or even just your image. That level of fame changes your brain. And eventually everything exploded. The internet watched Kanye unravel in real time. From Twitter rants and public meltdowns, controversial statements, from isolating himself and paranoia. And this is where things get uncomfortable. Because people online love talking about mental health. Until mental health becomes ugly. Then suddenly everybody turns into comedians.
Old and make us brittle and make us put that fear on our kids, put fear on our children.
You know, so many people are just so fucking obvious. They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And, you know, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers.
And I'm not defending every single thing Kanye has ever said or done. Obviously not. But I do think the internet forgot something very important. Fame does not protect human beings from suffering. It multiplies it. Then came the cancellation. And this was different because for the first time in Kanye's career, it actually felt like the world was done with him. Billion-dollar deals disappeared. Major companies cut ties with him. People publicly distanced themselves from him. And suddenly, Kanye went from one of the most powerful celebrities alive to one of the most hated overnight, which honestly shows how fake celebrity culture can be, because the same world that praises you today can destroy you tomorrow. But then something strange happened. Kanye started talking less about fame and more about faith. Sunday service became one of the most surreal celebrity services we've ever seen. Sunday service became one of the most surreal celebrity transformations we've ever seen. 1 minute this man is making.
If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds. Just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. And anyone that wants to sit around and talk shit, they're taking too much time talking shit about it instead of getting up off their ass and following their dreams. Because I'm here to follow my dreams.
Why? Why can't you do it? They said, look, if I didn't sell the tickets, I would go into debt. Right. So they pushed me my
chaotic headlines. Then the next, he's standing in the middle of the field surrounded by faith, love, and God. And whether the people believed his spiritual journey or not, I think Kanye was searching for peace. Because eventually the money stops fixing the emptiness. Fame stops fixing the loneliness. Validation stops fixing the pain. And maybe Kanye realized it's never too late. But after everything, after the controversies, the breakdowns, the cancellations, the memes, all the headlines and all the chaos, people still
back against the ropes, right? And I said, I'll take that chance. Pre-order, 9,000 the first day in Chicago, full pre-orders in one day. Right now, I want to make uniforms for my high school basketball team through brand Yeezy. I want to make that one step and then make another step and then eventually do uniforms for the entire city. Then I eventually want to be the force behind a $1 billion company. And after I made that $1 billion step, and I eventually want to be the anchor of the
care about Kanye West. Why? Because underneath all that madness, people saw something human, flawed and emotional, brilliant but self-destructive, inspiring but confusing, lonely but real. Kanye West became the physical representation of what happens when a human tries to carry fame, genius, grief, and also pressure all at once. And honestly, maybe nobody was built to survive that.
first $1 trillion company. Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself. I'm just the espresso. I'm just a shot in the morning to get you going.
It's my time, my moment. Thanks to everyone that's helped me. I plan to celebrate and scream and pop champagne every chance I get, because I'm at the Grammys, baby. Anybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win? I guess we'll never know.
Maybe Kanye West was never supposed to be perfect. Maybe that's why people relate to him so much. Because underneath the fame, the ego, the controversy, and the headlines was always just a human being trying to be understood. And whether history remembers him as a genius, a warning sign, or both, one thing is undeniable. Kanye West changed the world forever. It's your boy Young Robe, and I hope you appreciate and love and sub. Did my best on this one. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.